Hey, we are back. I don't know why I said we are back. We're back as if this was a commercial. Um, Here we are. This is it. Maybe I should put my face back on. There we go. I I hope I could be seen right now. I kind of changed up my little camera setup. I'm I'm actually using my phone this time instead of the super low quality camera that I was previously using. I figured something out on the Fan's Nest season finale. Here we are. So I don't know how perfect this is going to turn out, but we're going to try it. But yeah, here we are. Uh, Welcome to the Fan's Nest. Uh, it's still season one, episode 10, except it would have been 11 if it wasn't for my week about a month ago. I believe it was about a month ago. What's today? Today is February 15th, 2024. Uh, I was not ready. I was not prepared to do this yesterday. I had a crazy day yesterday. A lot going on. And I'm like, I can't not do a show this week. And especially it's the week after the Super Bowl. So it's like, I got to do this show. So I was, while trying to take care of some stuff today as well, um, I made it happen today. If you watch live or listen live, I don't know what you do. If you're on the show live, I thank you. For those of you that listen, thank you too to the recorded version. Um, but yeah, if you want to watch previous shows or live, you could go to Facebook, as well as yeah, you could now go to Facebook. I'm going to actually upload all of the previous episodes on the Facebook page, the Fans Nest podcast Facebook, and also YouTube. You can watch it there at the Fans Nest. Um, and you can listen to the podcast also on any platform where you get your podcast, if that's what the saying is that everybody says. Yeah, go. You can listen to this podcast on any outlet where you get your podcasts. I don't know how they say it. So yeah, you could do that, and I'm talking about all the like Apple Podcasts, which is that's pretty much where most people go to. Spotify. Um, I got a brain fart. iHeartRadio is another one. Yeah, there's a few of them. And actually, I saw someone was listening to the podcast via Firefox. Firefox. I thank you for listening to the show on Firefox. Um, I haven't used that browser in a long time, and I'm so used to using Chrome. I use so this is kind of weird. I use Chrome on my laptop. My laptop is it's a MacBook Air. Now a MacBook Air. I use Chrome. I just got used to it because of using Gmail all the time, and on my phone I use Safari. Yeah, yep. One day I'll combine everything into one thing. Nah, I lied. I tried. Okay. Anyway, if you want to join into the conversation live on the show tonight or future shows when we come back, you could do it in the chat. I'll see your comment. I'll put it out there, and I'll read it out loud. If anyone that's watching, they can see the comment on the stream live. Uh, yeah, which would be awesome to communicate with anybody. Um, and in the future, uh, okay, future of the show. So the last, um, this is the last episode of the season. I was figuring like, yeah, well, for the last few weeks, I'm like, do I want to keep doing this every single week? And I trust me, I enjoy doing this. The problem is, it's there is off-season drama, but there's not really that much to for me to talk about. You hear it all the time, on the news, uh, radio, all the off season stuff. Um, I'm pretty sure you know hear enough of it. You have outlets for that one. Um, I don't have enough time to talk about or to gather up all this information about everything that happens every week with the off season stuff. Honestly, I really well. Let me correct that. It's really just I prefer talking about games. Yes, I do like talking about like some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes and how the players are going through things. I do like talking about the drama stuff, but I mean, what I just that's not what I want to constantly talk about. I like to talk about the games, any games that's going on. We don't have that going on, but we got the XFL, USFL, the Unified. You know what? I don't know. I lost track. It's not my thing. I'm pretty sure the majority of us is not going to watch that. We saw the downfall of USFL, UFL, U, XFL. Listen, we don't care. I mean, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Some of you might like that, but I don't. But the future of the show. This is the season finale of the show, and yeah, well, I'm looking forward to the summer. I'm looking forward to preseason. So, my goal is to come back um, during during the preseason in August, which is going to be it's going to be fun. Um, let's see. What else do I have here? So that's pretty much the future of the show. I'm really trying to get guests for the show. I'm trying to get. I want to have those guests so I could go back and forth and talk to people live. Um, whether they're on for 5 minutes, on for the entire show, whatever you're comfortable with. Email me at um, thefansnest@gmail.com. We'll talk about the future. I do want to have like segments where I'm talking about certain things that's going on in the tri-state area or around Philly. Uh, when it comes to like eateries, breweries, especially breweries, small businesses. That's basically what I'm trying to go for, like small businesses. Um, and then during the off season, I want to talk. I want to like kind of communicate with everybody. I still want to do like things on social media. I have to post more often on social media, especially Facebook. The funny thing is I'm more active on Facebook, but I don't post anything. So I got to work on that seriously, especially if I'm doing this whole off season thing. I'll have to do some things here and there. But I really want to also start doing the shorts. I know that's a big thing on YouTube since I do have the YouTube channel, and then TikTok. TikTok has a lot of. I posted 1, 2 videos, and I don't know how many, but it does gain traction. I'm learning something about TikTok. So yeah, shout out to TikTok on that one. So without further ado, or whatever the saying is, it's time to open up the last beer of the season. And I'm gonna be completely honest. This one, I'm going light. I don't even consider this beer. This is not a beer. This is not a beer. This is not an IPA. This is not the traditional thing that I would put on the show. This is more like this is stuff that I do like. It is one of my go tos when I feel like having something sweet that tastes that's like kind of normal. When I don't want to go in a hoppy beer direction. Um, so yeah, I'm guilty on drinking some of the lighter flavored stuff. Some people might even call me a pansy for drinking this. And no, it's not White Claw. I don't know how to drink that. Not saying anything about anyone that drinks White Claw, but White Claw, that's not mine. I don't like the seltzer stuff. So my drink of choice for this episode, and the reason I choose this is because I'm really looking forward to the summer. Really, I'm sick of the winter. I hate the winter. I don't like the winter. I don't like snow. I don't like going outside, having to bundle up, freezing, brushing snow off my car. Oh wait, there's ice on under the snow. Yeah, I went through that yesterday. And then having to shovel my car out. It's just, I don't like it. It's inconvenient. It slows me down. I don't like that. So this is my drink of choice. It really reminds me of warm weather. Laugh all you want. I don't care. Here we go. I got myself the Twisted Tea Peach. Yeah. Now, I mean, there's really nothing to say. Like most of everybody knows what it is. Whether you either like it or you don't. It tastes sweet. It's iced tea. It's spiked iced tea. That's what it is. And I'm just gonna pour this can in there. Matter of fact, I could drink 2 of these. Yes, I bring multiples. Let's open up one more. I feel, as you see, it does not fill the glass. Gotta fill the glass. Gotta fill the glass. There we go. I like how on the can it says has like a little picture of somebody from. It kind of looks like a little Polaroid. Person's first name shows them having a bunch of twisted tea. Life's better with a twist. I like it. But yeah, there's a lot of people that either they like it and they're open about it, or they like it, but they lie to people and say that they don't like it just so they can sound like something that they're not, or they just don't like it because they say it's too sweet or something. I'm not knocking anybody, except for those that like it but don't want to admit it. So let's take a drink. Let's take a good sip of this because it's very easy to drink. Oh, that's another reason why I like this, because it's very easy to drink. I'm an iced tea person. I like iced tea. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, I like that stuff. Okay, over there. Here we go. So, and that's the thing I want to do in the future is with guests. I want to have a drink with y'all. You have to be 21 and older though, because if we're going to have a drink together, then I'm going to have to see I'm going to have to see some ID or something, or you got to confirm with me at some point, some way, if you look too young, confirm with me that you're of age, because I don't condone to underage drinking at all. All right. So yeah. So future guests on the show, I'd love to have a drink with you. Even if I want to have callers too, people that could call into the show and talk with me about this, about anything that's going on, the Eagles, mostly, or the beer. Choose your topic. It'd be sick. It'd be sick if I could just have a cigar cigar with this stuff too, but not a lot of smoking here. Can't do that. Maybe one day I could have a show somewhere where I could do a cigar. Future goals, future goals. All right, so let's get into my first topic. I have a few topics right here. I have actually five topics. Super Bowl. Let's talk about it real quick, as I do have NFL Network on right of me, and they are showing the Super Bowl. We've heard everybody's thoughts. You know your thoughts. Everybody's shared their thoughts. Here's my thoughts. My thoughts of this game. I'm gonna be completely honest. At first, I didn't care for it. Obvious reasons. It's like, all right. As I said before, um, the I was going for the Chiefs. Any previous beef that we had with the Chiefs, in my mind, it's all squashed. They beat us in the big game last year. Yes, yes. Um, but we beat them at home during this season. I feel like that was a very big, important game for us. So I was going for the Chiefs with this one. Um, and I still hated the Niners. Now, what I when the game started, it's like, all right, the game started. I'm trying to watch it, trying to get into it, but honestly, that entire first half, my God, I could not get into it. I mean, we know both teams are sloppy. I don't want to say, oh, it was so good because it was just a defensive game. It kind of was, but at the same time, both teams played super sloppy. I just, I just, it was just a struggle. And finally, getting into the second quarter, um, the Niners were up by a touchdown. They were up 10-3, and it's funny. By halftime, I'm like, thank God, please let it turn around. And after halftime, um, I'm like, it's got to turn around, because there's no way that the Chiefs are going to let this slide. And I was telling a few people, telling a few people, uh, even my boy, I was calling him Top Dollar over Jay Francis. He was one of the people I sent a message to. I'm like, yo, the Chiefs are going to come back, and they're going to turn this around and win this thing like they did with my Birds. And yeah, that actually did happen. I mean, I'm talking about the Chiefs came back in the third quarter. They got a touchdown, a field goal, and then fourth quarter. Oh my God! Like, the game was just going like back and forth. Um, the Chiefs got 6, 49ers got 9. Yeah, the game was tied. The game was tied. Oh, by the way, before the game even started, the 49ers was already complaining about the field. Yeah, at least they said something, right? They're saying that the field was kind of like last season. When last season the Eagles, I think it was the Eagles that was talking about how how the field was just too wet or damp or something. I don't know what it was. Soggy. Um, but it didn't look like that was an issue in the game, or in this game. Um, and going into how this game went into overtime, the game got really good by the second half, and then towards the end of the game, the fourth quarter, it got even better, and then OT happened. Niners got the ball first. Um, they kicked a field goal, so they were up, and that meant Pat Mahomes had a job to do. They moved down that field and got that touchdown. They got a game-winning touchdown with just a few seconds left in the overtime. And obviously, in the Super Bowl, you can't tie. No one's going to tie. You have to have a winner. So I don't know why there's even a clock. So the very last play that they had, they get this game-winning touchdown, and clock runs out, and it's like, wow. They did the thing. They did it. They did the damn thing. I don't. You just can't. You can't bet on again. You can't bet against Pat Mahomes. You just can't. I mean, this. It's not just him. It's the whole team. Like Andy Reid is a winner. Um, and no, I'm not going to go down that little rabbit hole talking about why didn't he do that in Philly. For those of you that keeps talking about that, shut up. The man left in 2013. 2013, and how long did it take him to get to where he's at now? A lot of seasons. A lot of seasons, and he finally got somebody. How are we going to know if he stayed in Philly, he was going to get Pat Mahomes? We don't know that. We don't know how that Pat Mahomes is going to become who he is now. So let's not go down that road. I just hate when people bring that up because we're talking about 2012, 2013. So long ago. Over 10 years. A decade. Stop. Also, one of the things I want to talk about was the whole Travis Kelce incident with Andy Reid. Travis being upset, grabbing Andy's arm, making Andy jump out of his shoes. Travis is yelling at him. Honestly, I didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. It's like, why are you screaming at Andy like that? But at the same time, after processing what happens, I had my initial emotion towards like, yo, that's messed up. Don't come at Andy like that. I still think that, by the way. But my understanding is like, okay, it's the Super Bowl, things aren't going right, emotions are high. He flipped out. Andy was chill. Like after he was startled, that's all it was. He was just startled, and then he just let it go. But that's what happens. When you're a winner, when you're used to making things happen, and things aren't going your way, and it's the biggest game of the season, which could also be the biggest game of your career. Of course, yeah, you're going to be super emotional, and you're probably not going to control yourself on with certain things. I'm not trying to make excuses for Travis, but that's pretty much what I thought of. He just had a lot of emotions going on, and he wants to win, just like the rest of the team. Again, I'm not trying to defend him and say that what he did was okay and let's brush it under the rug. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, Shit happens. Um, now, after seeing New Heights, I actually watched New Heights today. Um, they brought it up. Jason brought it up, and Jason said, there's a better way he could have handled that. And, Travis was like, yes. He admitted, like, yes, that was over the top. I went over the line, but it's all good. It's all love. He said that he talked to Andy the same day. They're okay. They're fine. They laughed about it. That's good that they talked about it. I mean, what if they lost the Super Bowl? Would it be the same conversation? We don't know. But at the same time, Travis on the media platform, he acknowledged that he was wrong. I hope he's right. And, normally when you put on a spot like that, and it's a podcast or an interview, you're going to say what people want you to say, what people want you to, or what people want to hear from you. That's what it is. Um, so before I move on, I do want to say cheers to the Chiefs, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, the rest of y'all that's on the Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. Congratulations. Um, if it was the other way around, the 49ers, I would not be congratulating you. I'd just be like, fuck off. I do have friends that's 49ers fans too, so I'll probably, with them, I would be like, yeah, congratulations. Or, that's about it. I got friends, so I'd be like, all right, congratulations to you and your feelings. And it's the same thing. Like, someone was a fan of another team and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It was the same thing. Like, congrats to your team. It's in respect to friends. If I don't know you, I don't care. All right. Moving on, I want to talk about Jason Kelce just a little bit. He still doesn't have a decision on his retirement. This man, I tell you what, though, he was living it up. The way he dressed at the Super Bowl was ridiculous. It looked like he was wearing a Big Eddie shirt, which a Big Eddie shirt is actually a Travis Kelce nickname. This is a Travis Kelce shirt. So, repping his brother's shirt, and then, which is a red Chiefs shirt, and then he's got these ridiculous looking overalls on. That's pretty much a Chiefs overalls. I thought I heard Jason say that he had no idea what to wear, so he just put something together, which I believe it. He looked ridiculous. He was completely just representing. He was representing the Chiefs and Travis completely. Um, while his wife Kylie, yeah, she she was really subtle with it. Just was like, all right, just wearing I forgot what it was specifically she was wearing, but I believe it was just like a red shirt. It was not branded. It was not acknowledging the Chiefs. It was just acknowledging the color. And it's funny because she actually said that that she won't go that far because they're an Eagles family. So she went over the line as far as she would, not as far as she could, but as far as she would. So she loves the birds that much. Where it's like she's like, I'm just gonna wear a red shirt. That's it. I'm not gonna get nothing or wear. I'm not gonna wear anything that's Chiefs. I like it. I like that. So yeah, shout out to Mrs. Kelce. Um, and then Jason, I'm telling you, Jason is living it up. After that, after the Chiefs won, he escorted. It looked like he escorted Donna Kelsey and Taylor to the field. It looked like he was being their security guard and just looking out for them and making sure they weren't being bothered as they were walking up to Travis on the field. Um, Man, it was good seeing Jason like that. And then you know later on, the partying, like this man. I'm trying to think, where did he go? I forgot where he was. He was wearing a luchador mask, wrestling. It's a wrestling mask. He looked insane and dancing with it. Dancing next to DJ Marshmallow. That was hilarious. It's like you almost couldn't tell it was Jason, but it was Jason. You know it was Jason. He's sitting there dancing like, ah, like, what are you doing? Um, and then he was out at the casinos having fun, gambling on the tables. I forgot. I don't know what he was playing. I briefly read, but I believe he won big or something. Like he made some money, but yeah, he was just having fun. It just looks like he's just soaking it all in of what his life could be after football. So far as right now, as far as I know, on February 15th, he has no decision made yet. It looks like he's going to probably take his time to figure it out. There's things that he's said that makes it look like that he will be back on the team, but then there's things that he said that makes it seem like he's not going to be back on the team. So he's putting it out there where he's leaving it up in the air. He's being smart with it. He's not he's not letting anybody try to guess what his decision is going to be, which is smart because it's like in his mind, what if he does decide to come back? He doesn't want to put out there people thinking like, oh, he's going to be gone. He doesn't want everybody to think that, and then he'll be back. Other way around too. Like he doesn't want people to believe he's coming back, but then he's like, no, I'm retiring and then let people down. So he's out there. He's trying to keep everything level with everything that he says. I like that. I think. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be back. I don't want to say he is. I don't want to say he's not. The man is having fun right now. He's trying to live the life right now. His little brother won another Super Bowl. He won back-to-back Super Bowls. It's like he's just living his life with his brother at the moment and just having his fun. So yeah, I don't know what his decision. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't have an idea of what I think his decision is going to be. Um, if I absolutely had to decide what Jason was going to do, I would say he would be retiring. Um, I wouldn't want him to retire. I wouldn't. At least I want one more season of him. But like I think like see that I can't even think of why I think he'd be retiring, except what everyone else is thinking. It's like, well, it's been brought up. He's having the time of his life right now. Um, they had a rough previous season, and maybe he doesn't want to do that again. He doesn't want to go through it again. He's getting older. You know, it's just it's almost like a repeat of things from last season too. The disappointments, his age, he's beat up. I mean, last year I know that the Super Bowl last year was was a rough one, and he came back. He came back to try one more try another season, and it was a decision that I think it was a rough decision that he made. And, there's even a documentary. There's all these things that's like, okay, this is like a sign pointing to the end of his career. But, those are things of why I think he'd be retiring. I have more thoughts on that than why he would be coming back. Um, why would he? Why would I think he'd be coming back? Um, Basically, he would come back to have one more season. For the love of football, for the love of the current team. Um, I don't think he would come back to try and be hopeful for a Super Bowl. I don't think that would be the reason why he would come back. Um, I mean, yeah, he would want another Super Bowl, but I don't think he would come back and be like, yeah, I'm coming back because we have a chance for the Super Bowl. I don't think that'd be his reason to come back. It would be a good reason for the team to keep him, though. The team would make that decision, be like, we're going to keep him because we believe that we'll be going back to Super Bowl. That would not be Jason's decision to say, I'm coming back for that reason. Yeah, maybe it would be. I don't know. That's why I don't have a decision on what I think. I don't have a real decision of what I think he's going to do. What I want him to do, I want him to come back for one more season and say that it's his last season. Kind of like what BG did, or what BG did, or what BG wants to do. Come back for that farewell tour. One more season, and we know it. And every game we're pretty much soaking it in and just knowing this is his last season for sure. It'll be nice to know that. I did see tonight. I think this was like an hour ago. It was reported on. Who was it? NBC Sports Philly. Jordan Mailata, man, love that guy. I think he's the next locker room leader. Honestly, I really think he is. He has a great personality, great leadership skills. Um, he always got good things to say. I think he's going to be the next guy. Um, he actually told NBC Sports Philadelphia. He said, this is actually regarding Jason Kelsey retiring. He said, "There's no shot. You're telling me he's going shirts off in the games, gambling in casinos. He's coming back? No way. He's having too much fun. He's out there living his life, and I'm going to miss him for sure, man. This has been the greatest 6 years of my life for sure. Being here in the NFL and getting to meet people like Jason Kelsey." So, what he basically said there is he was basically saying Jason's not coming back. Again, this is Jordan Mailata's opinion. Um, it doesn't sound like he's had conversations with Jason. Maybe he has, um, but this is how Jordan is looking at everything. He's like, Jason's doing all these things, and you think he's coming back? That's what Jordan's saying. So that's like another thing that gets me thinking, like maybe Jason's not coming back because he's he went pretty wild this off season. Like I think this was the most wild he's been ever since our Super Bowl win in 2017 or 18. Ever since the parade, the Eagles parade. This has been the most wildest Jason I've ever seen off season. Um, I really think, I really think it's whatever Jason's opinion, whatever Jason's decision is going to be. It's definitely being thought out. He's having his fun. He's soaking it in. I mean, maybe he's already made the decision. He's just waiting for the right time. I don't know when the cutoff date for that is, but I'm pretty sure he's doing his best to just go through with it all, and we'll go through with having fun and stuff, and then making that decision. I mean, last year he just randomly did it. He went up to Howie and said, "Hey, yeah, I'm coming back for one more season," and bam, they had their little meeting and they took shots. Howie gave him the bigger shot. Someone tried to circulate that video around again, saying Jason's coming back, and it's like, no, 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 that was last season. That was last season. Don't spread nothing. Don't spread no fake stuff. Don't do that. That's a big no no. What so what I mean, I don't know. Some people are saying that he would make his decision. He would announce his decision on the New Heights podcast. I mean, that'd be a good platform. And again, it's like, I know this podcast. That might be what he will do, because I know on this podcast they do this podcast for basically what I'm doing. Um, they ended by the end of the football season, so it's like they just had their after Super Bowl podcast, and I believe they have another one coming up next week too. It's like, all right, they haven't announced. I mean, I don't think they have announced when their last podcast is. So that's what makes me think, like, well, I think he might make his decision on New Heights. So, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. So sometimes that makes me think, like, okay, I don't want to watch her. Well, here I am yawning. Sorry, excuse me. I'm kind of sleepy. um, that's what makes me think that that decision right there is going to be made on New Heights, because the platform, it's there for them. People watch it, and I'm not. I don't want to watch TV. Or listen to radio without listening or watching one of the newest episodes, just in case I miss it. And then they say, like, "Oh yeah, you just announced it on New Heights." I'm like, oh shit, I really missed that. I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what he might do, is just make a decision there, and I don't have an idea of exactly what I think he will do. Even though I did tell you what I think he will do, but that's if I had to decide, and why I would have decided that. But in reality, I don't know what he would decide. Um, uh, moving on. I want to do a super quick season recap on the Eagles. I'll tell you what. I look at the schedule, I'm like, man, I cannot believe what happened. Going into the season, I was nervous, to be honest, because it's like, the Super Bowl hangover. The teams that went into the Super Bowl, usually the losers, turn out to be completely shit the next season. So I was not expecting much. At the same time, I was being hopeful because of how powerful the team was and who we had. But at the same time, I knew about the coordinators. Brian Johnson, Sean Desai. Wait, Um, so many names going through my head right now. So, what was I thinking just now? Yeah, so when I look at this schedule, I'm like, man, you're going strong. You know, beating the Patriots at in New England uh, was a good start. 25-20. We beat them. We beat the Vikings 34-28. Then we beat the Bucks 25-11. We're looking, looking kind of strong. Our offense is scoring a lot more. Washington game was always close. I actually thought we would lose to Washington because we got our first loss last season to Washington. That happens, but now we beat Washington by 3. We went to LA. We beat LA. Then we faced the Jets, and we lost. We seem to most of the time we seem when we're looking good, we seem to lose to the worst teams. Losing to the Jet. All I remember is that all sides of the ball we looked horrible. So lose to the Jets, we became 5-1. Then going against the Dolphins, we beat the Dolphins 31-17. We came out. It was kind of meh, throughout the game. We looked kind of dominant, but then we didn't look dominant until towards the end of the game, where we got ahead a lot more, 131-17. We became 6-1, and we became 7-1 when we actually beat Washington again. We beat them 38-31. And then we had Dallas week. We beat Dallas 28-23. And the most important game to me was going into Kansas City and beating Kansas City, and that's what we did, 21-17. And honestly, I really do think we won that game only because of Kansas City pretty much errors. They played sloppy offensively. But either way, we beat them, and it was 9. We were 9-1. Then we went to Buffalo. We beat Buffalo. We thought Buffalo was a strong team. They were a strong team. That was another goal. Like, let's beat Buffalo. We did, 37-34. We were 10-1. We at this point it's like, we look good, and then then we started going against. What was it the next 1, 2, 3, 4? Was it 4 games? This was considered the gauntlet, actually, starting at Kansas City. It was 5 games. So we beat Kansas City, we beat Buffalo. Then I knew we were going to lose against, I hate saying that, I knew we were going to lose against 49ers. And it happened. They dominated us. They destroyed us. And that is where it all started. We lost, 42-19, we lost to them. We became 10-2. Went into Dallas. Dallas did the same thing to us, 33-13. Then we came 10-3. We go into Seattle. I thought we would win that game, actually. I was confident we were going to win that game. We lost 20-17. I think I said that we were going to win that game. I think I said we were going to win that game 23-17. I forgot what my prediction was. But I said that Seattle was going to have 17. We ended up, my prediction was kind of backwards. And then we went, and then we played the Giants at home, and we won like we should have. 33-25 or 11-4. Then we played the Arizona Cardinals. I went to this game, and the atmosphere was amazing, but the game itself was so hopeful. We're so hopeful. But it's like the defense could not stop a damn thing. And Yeah, we lost 35-31. There's nothing else to say. And then it's the last game of the season against the Giants again in uh, at MetLife Stadium. We lost 27-10 to the Giants. Taking everybody out. Oliver started out by the beginning of no took them all out by the end of the second quarter, I believe. So it was kind of like right before halftime, and it just went bad. And then wild card, I said it was going to be one and done. 32-9 we lost Tampa. Yep. So there was that. End of the season, and this is including our Tampa loss. We lost. We were 11-7. We went into the preseason 11-6. Or I'm sorry, playoffs. We went into playoffs 11-6. And when I think about it, it's like we were. I'm like, the record sounds good. 11-6. When I look back, to was that week 12? We were 10-1. We were 10-1, and then everything just fell apart. I did say a lot of these games were like so close. We barely won a lot of these games, and I just had a feeling that one day, I had a feeling that in some game something was going to happen and fall apart, and it happened. It was it's got to be locker room, a combination of stuff. Everyone in media, on radio and everything wants to point fingers to one person, saying, is it Jalen's fault, or is it Sirianni's fault, or is it Howie's fault, or is it who else? Did someone say something about Reddick because Reddick's situation? I don't know. Or is it AJ Brown's fault? It's like, stop pointing fingers. Maybe it's everybody. Maybe it's the coaching. They did one thing right, and that was firing the offensive defensive coordinators and hiring new ones, which has a better track record. But a lot of things probably went wrong. There's still things going on, especially with the whole Hassan Reddick thing, where it's like first it's like, oh, he requested for a trade, but then a few days later, Hassan actually allegedly says himself that he was not the one that requested a trade, or he didn't request a trade. So I don't know what really is going on with that. But hey, just here for the ride. There's a drama. It's whatever. See what happens by August. It's just been, I don't know, it just seems like a wacky year where it started questionable. At the same time, it started strong. Like, oh, this is a great team. We see them going to the Super Bowl. Look at them. They find a way to win. They win these games. Don't matter how they do it, but they do it. And then it just crumbled out of nowhere. And then everything's just bad. And it's like everyone's like, fire this guy, fire that guy. People are like, trade Jalen, but you can't because he has no trade clause. That's his contract. It's a constant finger pointing and constant people saying, get rid of this guy. Nick now has this role of being a CEO type of head coach. I'm okay with that. If he's good at a certain role, being an overseer and everything, then yeah, let him do that. If he's not good at calling the plays himself, cool. Just got to find the right guys that he could work with. It's like trying Jalen with the right the right teammates. Jalen goes, or Jalen. If Jason Kelsey goes, Jerkins is the next. It's Jerkins. He's the next guy up, the next man up. Got to give Jalen the right receivers. He's got him. Just got to call the right plays. Got to trust the team. We'll see what's going to happen on this offseason and see how we look by the time August comes and who we start in game 1, whenever that is. 5 minutes to go. It's 10:09 actually, but those of y'all that actually listen to this, to the recorded version of the show, you don't know what time it is because you're just listening to whenever you listen. So it's probably it could be 1:32 p.m. while you're listening to this. And I thank you for that, by the way. Last thing I want to talk about is the Fan's Nest. I believe I was talking about this my very first show, or maybe the pilot, or before the pilot. For a long time, for months, maybe over a year, I was thinking of what kind of podcast I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do a podcast. I had a life coaching podcast that I am revamping. I'm bringing it back with my good friend, lovely friend, April. By the way, look up How You Living podcast. If you're into life coaching stuff, we're bringing that back. We're on YouTube. I had that, and I'm like, man, I really want to do something else. I watch wrestling. I want to do a wrestling podcast. I'm still thinking about it. The name is Wrestling and Beer. Same concept that I'm doing here. But I went with the Eagles podcast. I went with this podcast because I love our birds. I really do. I've been a fan of the Eagles longer than I was a fan of wrestling. I love watching games. I get into it hardcore. It's just I'm constantly wearing something of Eagles. I could do the same thing with wrestling. I could talk about wrestling all the time. I watch it literally every single week. Judge me. I don't care. I don't care. But Eagles. I just love the fan base. I love you guys. I love talking to the Eagles fan base. We have the best fan base in the NFL, in my opinion, and we know it. And that's our opinion too. And other people's opinion. This is the best fan base that I know of. When I went to this the Cardinals game, it reminded me, and trust me, it's been years since I've physically been to an Eagles game. I've gone to parties and things of the Eagles, so I wasn't completely oblivious of anything, but going to the actual game, it reminded me of everything, and it brought my eyes, it widened my eyes as an adult of how fucking awesome we are as a fan base. It's amazing. I've been to so many live events, live shows. I've been to games. I've been to Phillies games, so many Phillies games. I've been to Flyers games. And to be 1,000% honest, it's not the same. Going to an Eagles game, oh my God, it is such I'm going to sound corny. It's such a magical moment, especially when the team is actually doing good. How everybody is just everybody in that stadium is going for the same team. They have the same heart as you. It's just oh my God, you can't get away from it. So that's what made me choose to do this podcast is, the love of the team and this fan base, the passion. It's like no other. And I wanted to do this to connect with people. That's why every episode I want guests. I want people to call. I want to have this communication and this connection with everybody. I want to share it, and and even the name, the Fans Nest. I've said this quite a few times. I first came up with the name. Uh, I started a small Eagles clothing line. I came out with the shirt I'm wearing. If you're watching, I came out with this shirt. I think I came out with a hoodie too for this. I haven't shopped in a while. You go to shop for me, you buy some. Buy this shirt. It feels nice though. Oh my god, it feels nice. It's soft. Um, but yeah, I came up with the name because it's like fan. We're fans with a PH makes sense. As in Philly, um, and then nest. Eagles. Their home is the nest. Is a nest. This is done in my home, and at the same time, the whole idea it's like um, I want you guys in. Uh, I want you guys to listen and watch as if it's you're comfortable with it, as if it's your home. It sounds good in my head. Pretty much when you watch and listen, it's like welcome home. This is your show. This is my show. This is our show as a fan base. We're all fans. I'm a fan. I may not. I keep saying this too. I may not know everything. I may not know every single player. I don't know names. I don't know all the formations. I don't know everything, but I'm a fan. Trust me, when I listen to 94 WIP, I'm like, man, a lot of these callers know a whole lot more than I do. Gets me a little bit jealous, but it is what it is. Um, so I am excited for season two. Season two is coming in August. I don't know an exact day yet, but I might aim towards the first Wednesday before preseason starts, so that way I can gather up all the information of what is going on, what happened during the off season, who we possibly drafted. Um, I do watch the preseason. I try to watch the preseason because I like to see who might stand out. Um, Jalen Carter, I tell you what, he stood out to me completely during preseason last year. Um, yeah, he showed up all season for the most part all season, even with the penalties. Even the penalties, he was still there for that. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited for me to bring up season two and talk to you guys. Hopefully, more of a developed show. Um, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your feedback. I haven't had any. I really haven't had any feedback, to be honest. Um, I really want to. I really want to hear it. Just reach out. Comment on videos. If you're listening to the podcast, yeah, feel free to. If there's, I don't know if there's a comment section, but wherever you're listening, try to comment. Um, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email. Thefansnest@gmail.com. And that's with a PH, by the way. The Fans Nest. Fans Nest with a PH. So that's THEPHANSNEST @gmail.com. And tell me what you think. If you want to be a guest, let me know. Um, things I want to work on. What else before I wrap this up? I do want to mention, one more thing, completely irrelevant to the Eagles. Shout out to the makers of StreamYard. What StreamYard is it's a program I'm using to to do this show live on both YouTube and Facebook. I just figured out how to do Facebook. last week. Yeah, last week. It took me 9 episodes to do that. But shout out to uh, live, shout out to StreamYard for the software have that they have here. Um, it made things so simple for me. I tried other software that has a lot of options, but at the same time very complicated. Shouldn't a regular person that's trying to do a live stream and record their podcast at the same time that doesn't want to get too down and dirty into a podcast sometimes, but it's just me. I don't want to have to worry about every single thing that I have to do, and I don't want anything to be too difficult. So, StreamYard has been very easy for me to work with. Um, it does have a lot of other options that I could mess with. I haven't tried some things yet. I haven't been wanting to. I've just been wanting to keep things simple for this first season. Maybe next season I'll figure uh, some other stuff out with it. But it's been easy. It's just been a very easy program for me to use, and um, I really like it. So if you're a streamer, try out StreamYard. No, they're not paying me to give them a shout out or anything. I actually chose to mention it because before I started this podcast, I came across a Facebook post where they went live talking to, it was like a suggested post or something, and they're talking to people on what to do or how to do certain things, and people were giving out their feedback to them, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should give the program developers a shout out. I don't know if they're going to see this ever, but the program allows you to stream live. You can see the comments coming in from wherever people are leaving comments at live. You can see yourself. Uh, you could add certain things. I don't know. It's been so far. It's the easiest program for me to use, and I like it. So, shout out to them. Uh, Man, this is it for the season. And this was my decision. If I do end up, the thing is, I don't have to stop until August. If I want to do another episode between now and then, I can. Um, but there's other things I kind of wanted that I kind of want to focus on at the moment, and I don't want to focus on doing this every Wednesday until August. Trust me, I love doing this. This has been, um, but yeah. I mean, we'll see how the post season unfolds for the birds, and yeah. If anything, follow me on everything that you can. Facebook, go to facebook.com, or just go to Facebook, search the Fans Nest. Um, Go there, follow me. I'll be posting there whenever I go live. It's posted. Uh, Check out the YouTube channel too. I'm going to try to do my best to post a little bit more videos on YouTube, Fans Nest, and even TikTok. I really want to start working on TikTok. I see it gets a lot of traction, and I do have TikTok. So go, the Fans Nest. It should be the Fans Nest shop on TikTok. So that's what that is. It's like TikTok.com/. Just look up the Fans Nest shop, and you should find it. Like I said, it's because I started it off as a clothing store. So um, there's not much on there when it comes to the shop itself, but um, that's it was a start. um, but yeah, that's it. I want to thank everybody everybody for watching, all the viewers. Uh, thank you so much because it's like if every single video had zero, every single video had zero views, I would have been done. I would have been done by now. I'm like, nah, no, this is not working. Even when it comes to like the audio, if you're listening, if there was like zero downloads, I would not continue. Or if there was zero one on one thing and then views or downloads on something else, I would continue doing that, but I'd stop doing the other thing. But this has actually gotten a little bit more uh, traction than I expected. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all the Eagles fans that actually care and listen to this. And I do want to hear from you guys. I know that there's some from overseas in other countries that watch or listen. Man, I got the hiccups. Um, and I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody. Like seriously, everyone that takes your time to listen or watch me. It's like it's part of the life that I've missed in the past when I was in the music industry previously. This has been exactly what I've been wanting was to get back on the microphone, which was my main goal, was to actually get back on the microphone, not really in front of the camera, but I like the camera. I really do. I like the camera. Um, so I thank all of y'all. And that's all I got for the season. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the platforms that I'm on that I've mentioned, and just follow and go to YouTube actually too. And I have every single one of my links on YouTube where you can listen and watch. That'd be dope. All right, so that's all I got. Thank you so much, and yeah, go birds, fly Eagles fly. Cheers.